Hi there, my name's DJ Hombre from Digital DJ Tips. I'm here to talk to you about the Numark Mixdeck quad unit. It's very similar to the N4 unit produced by Numark a while ago. However, there have been some improvements such as CD capabilities and also USB drive inputs as well. You also get a nice LED screen at the top of each deck too, which is handy when scrolling through the tracks to play off your CD or your USB drive. Now what is worth noting is that your USB key should house only MP3 files, probably a limitation of the unit, but firmware will be updated in the future, so perhaps that may be extended at a later date. And also, as you're scrolling through, you only get one file or one folder displayed at a time. So if you have lots of files in a single folder, it may mean that it takes a while to find your next track. So what I'd advise is to organise your tracks into subfolders for BPM or key or genre, so it should help you find the next track a bit easier. Now, we mentioned USB capability. You can plug an iPad running VJ or DJ apps by algorithm into the controller at the back of the unit through a very big USB cable. In fact, the connection at the back isn't USB, it's like a port connector that you see on PCs or laptops. So DJ and VJ run out of the box with Mixdeck Quad. Both have added support recently, which is great because using these apps on a flat touch screen is okay, but you're always left feeling, I wish it had a bit more tactile control, and now with this you have it. So what the controller, the Mixdeck Quad then acts as a MIDI controller, sending MIDI messages to those apps. So what you'll find as you turn the bass control down, you are then affecting the bass slider on those two apps. So that's the main difference actually between the USB CD and using via MIDI, is that these three EQ controls for purely audio purposes are brilliant. They cut the audio perfectly, and when you bring it up it all comes back in very nice. On the DJ and VJ apps I don't think the audio is quite cut out. That might not be an issue for you, but it's just a slight niggle for me. Anyway, what else can you do? For each deck you have the usual suspects, the pitch control, pitch bend feature. You can adjust the start and stop time for each jog wheel, and you have a tap tempo button as well. Numark have got a bleep reverse switch here. Bleep is basically where you flick the switch up and it temporarily plays the track backwards for a fraction until you release that, so it always bounces back to the centre. Playback of the audio will continue from where it should have been before you flick that switch. If you hit reverse, it will play the entire track in reverse until you flick it back to the centre. So you get some looping as well. You can set your inputs, your in-out loop points. Interesting to note, with VJ as an app by itself, you only get 4 beats of loop. You can't set your inputs and outputs for the loop. However, through the controller and use with VJ, you can set your loop to wherever you like and however long you like, which is brilliant. You also get multiple cue points here and some onboard effects. Now if you're using it with an iOS device and DJ or VJ, those effects tie nicely in to the effects provided by the app, because all it is doing is sending MIDI messages. If you're using pure audio, so your USB drive or your CD deck, there's a bunch of onboard effects which include phaser, flanger, filter, and some sort of gate chop effect as well, and there may be a couple of others. Now Numark have wisely extended the back of the controller to include a bunch of additional outputs and inputs for the Mixdeck Quad. So the outputs now cover an output for master, an output for booth, an output for recording. So you could set this up in a nightclub environment and your booth levels could be set independently of your master, and you could also record direct from the unit itself. So that's fantastic. And with the number of inputs available here, you can see that this could be very useful in a live environment, because not only does it give you a bunch of outputs, it also gives you a plethora of inputs, which means DJ handovers should be very quick. Now, the unit also runs with various DVS systems, comes packaged with Serato Intro, but will work with Virtual DJ Pro, Tractor Pro and DJ by algorithm for the Mac. Obviously you'd need a laptop or something plugged into one of the inputs at the back. What else can I say about the unit? The Crossfader is interesting to me because I like to try a bit of scratching out every now and again. I've noticed that the Crossfader has 4 Phillips head screw tops on top of the surface, which means perhaps the Crossfader is replaceable. For me, Crossfader is always the first thing to go on my mixer, so it's quite comforting to see that this could be replaced at some point in the future. The Crossfader curve can be adjusted to one of 2 settings: quick cut in for scratching, or a gradual blend for those who are more interested in beat matching. Of course you can do both. There's also a reverse Crossfader switch for those who really want to get crafty with your 2-click flares or your crab scratching. That's pretty much it, really. Very similar to the Numark N4 controller, but with added oomph, added inputs, added outputs, a nice polished up interface, lovely LED screens. The USB functionality alone makes this one a winner for me. I was able to unpack it and quickly, like that, start DJing off a single USB drive. That's the other thing. I'm not used to USB DJing, but I could plug a USB drive in here and I could play tracks off that single USB on both decks. I could be scratching this. I gave it some really heavy scratch abuse, and it worked perfectly. So that was brilliant. I was very pleased with that. It's a shame to hand it back to Numark. Really, I'm quite tempted to ferret this away somewhere, and I won't. Obviously, Numark, if you're watching this will be coming back to you, but so very pleased with it myself. In a single folder. Who would it suit? It would probably suit anyone that is a CD DJ who wants to replace their CD decks and possibly has a mixer that's on its way out as well. This is an all-in-one unit, so it's all there for you. It also gives you all the other options as well. If you're an iOS DJ, you want some more tactile control, then this is perfect. It's probably a bit overkill for just an iOS DJ, but it gives you the additional inputs as well, so you can get more creative with your mixing. If you're looking to DJ with some friends, you could get them to plug their mixers into the back so you can have a 6 decks mix off, which sounds chaotic, but I promise you that would be quite good fun, I'm sure. If you're thinking of using this in a live environment, then again, with the host of outputs and host of inputs, then it makes perfect sense. So it's priced at $699 US. Strangely, I think in the UK it's priced at more, possibly due to shipping or import costs. So there you go, there you have it, the Mixdeck Quad by Numark. Thoroughly recommend it. A full review will be online at digitaldjtips.com, and I hope you've enjoyed it.